Hey everybody, it's Red. I'm back to show you my new journal. I'm calling this one the Book of Life. And I created the closure by using an antique key attached to some vintage bias tape that you just thread under there and unwrap. And it is attached to the book through a grommet so that when you undo it, it stays with the book. You don't have to look for it. I made the cover using layers of craft paper, and I decoupaged them together, and then I added a layer of mulberry paper, vintage mulberry paper that has a lot of fibers and everything inside of it. And then I used a Stamperia paper. It's rice paper and it has all this cool imaging on it, and I ripped out the images and decoupaged them on and then added these fibers. And the pages are sewn in using waxed thread. When you open the book, you have a pocket. This is using a vintage flashcard that I altered with paint and things. And then I created a little journaling card from a bird that was on the cover of a vintage bird book. And then, of course, you can always change around anything in the pockets or add to it. There's always room for more. These are images from an antique science book. And this is a 1950s napkin, rice paper napkin from Japan. And I attached it to this paper. Kind of melted it on there. Give you some texture. And then more journaling pages. And I added a text spot here from a vintage dictionary. I layered it and made a little tuck. And then I made a journaling card here, and it has a paper clip so it can be used as a bookmark, or you can just use it as a journaling card. And there's a charm, little heart. And this is some of my coffee dyed paper, and then some of my fantasy dyed paper. And then I created a flip here using an image from a National Geographic and some homemade washi tape from Vintage Fabric. And then a vintage envelope. It was lined. I thought it'd be easy to write on. And the back side of that page has a pocket from a vintage greeting card, and I added her image in a little window that was there. And then I made a journaling card with a tab, little seal. And then this is some construction paper that I dyed, and a vintage flashcard and some ephemera. Another little pocket here. And some more journaling pages. And then this is from a children's science book. I loved the little birds, so I created a tuck there and a registration card for the highway department that I added, so you'd have something to write on, but you can always, of course, add something different or whatever there. And then you've got a paper. This paper is a printout that I made from an image that was a vintage journal, science journal. I thought it was really neat. And this is some vintage sari silk and a journaling card. And then, of course, you can journal on the page underneath it. And we have more journaling paper. This is from a vintage science book and a file folder. More from the vintage science book and another little animal flashcard. And then I thought these little bears were just adorable. They were in a vintage children's science book. And then I have a old movie camera, and it has film and all. And these are the inserts from the film. And so I just made some pockets that stack back there, and I created from a National Geographic a journaling card to go in the back, and then a wolf. And this is Uncle Wiggily, in case you've never played that game. Uncle Wiggily is a board game for kids, an old one, and I just thought he was cute, so I added him in there too. But you can change these around or add different things, but you've got stacked pocket there. And then you've got a little tip out. And more journaling. And then this pocket is a vintage postcard that I printed onto fabric and then stitched onto paper and added lace and then created a pocket out of it on this page. And then took a vintage flashcard again and created a journaling spot. I had fussy cut these roses. I thought they were cute, so I added them there. And then this little guy, these little guys are from Germany, probably the 1930s. They are little die cuts that people used to get. And I added them to this page. I thought that was cool. And the black paper looks really pretty with gel ink, so you can make notes on here in gel ink. And then a vintage atlas page. And a little fold-out card that you can address and mail or keep and journal on. And a little pocket from a children's science book again. And again, you can add more to that pocket if you want. More of my dyed paper, a page from a children's science book, and images from that vintage bird book. There's a science book page, and some of my dyed paper, and that. And then this one is a combination of different mushroom images that I found, a scientific version, and then a cute little one that I found online, and this little guy, the little gnome carrying his mushroom from a vintage greeting card that I thought was so cute. Piece of fabric that I had. This is from National Geographic article on mushrooms from the 60s. And then I used the text to make a little tuck spot here and just made a little journaling card with some ephemera that I had. And you can put it in the tuck spot or use it somewhere else. And then there is a hidden pocket on this page. So it's right there, right back here. It's little and it's hidden, so you can tuck a note or something in there and hide it away. So it's your secret spot. And then another journaling page with some birds, some more of my paper, and a vintage postcard to make a pocket. This is from a typing instruction book, and it teaches you how to type checks and tax documents and different things like that. And this is a tax document. And I added these little guys. And I thought it'd be neat to journal on. And of course you can add photographs or whatever to the pocket and all too. And then these cute little guys and a vintage library card. And that's it for that one. And on the back of it is this beautiful dragonfly. I don't know if you got to see that.